The silent invasion. In the vast expanse of space, silence reigned supreme. Yet, in that cosmic quiet, humanity was about to face its greatest challenge. Dr. Samira Patel stood before the enormous holographic display in the heart of the lunar observatory, her dark eyes scanning the intricate web of data points and celestial bodies. Something was off. She couldn't quite put her finger on it, but years of studying the cosmos had honed her instincts to a razor's edge. HFY. She called out to the observatory's eye assistant, "Run a deep scan of Sector 17, focusing on gravitational anomalies." "Certainly, Dr. Patel," the AI responded, its voice calm and reassuring. "Initiating deep scan now. This may take several minutes." As HFY worked, Samira's mind wandered to the events that had led her to this moment. Humanity had taken its first tentative steps into the solar system, establishing bases on the Moon and Mars. The discovery of element 115, dubbed stellarium, had revolutionized space travel, allowing for faster-than-light communication and the development of powerful energy shields. Yet, for all their advancements, humans had found no signs of intelligent alien life. Until now. "Scan complete," Araya announced, snapping Samira back to the present. "Anomaly detected in Sector 17. Gravitational distortions consistent with the presence of multiple large objects. However, no visual confirmation is possible." Samira's heart raced. "Cloaking technology," she whispered. "Araya, alert the United Earth Defense Council immediately. Priority Alpha." Within hours, the UEDC war room was a hive of activity. Military leaders, scientists, and politicians from around the world gathered, their faces grim as they absorbed the implications of Dr. Patel's discovery. Admiral Chen Wei, a veteran of the Mars colonial conflict, stood at the head of the table. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, his voice steady despite the tension in the room, "it appears we are no longer alone in the universe, and our visitors do not seem interested in making friends." Holographic displays flickered to life, showing the estimated size and position of the cloaked alien fleet. It was massive, easily dwarfing Earth's combined space forces. "How did they get so close without us noticing?" demanded General Sarah O'Connor, her Irish accent thickening with anger. Dr. Patel stepped forward. "Their cloaking technology is unlike anything we've ever seen. It doesn't just bend light. It seems to warp space itself around their ships. If it weren't for the gravitational effects, we might never have detected them." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity was facing a technologically superior alien force that had managed to slip past their defenses undetected. Admiral Chen spoke again, his voice cutting through the tension. "We may be outgunned, but we're not beaten. Humanity has faced extinction-level threats before and survived. We'll do so again." He turned to a tall, lanky man standing in the corner. "Dr. Nikolai Volkov, I believe it's time to unveil Project Aegis." Volkov stepped forward, his eyes gleaming with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "Project Aegis is a planetary defense system unlike anything ever conceived. It utilizes our stellarium technology in ways we're only beginning to understand." As Volkov explained the intricacies of the system, involving a network of satellites capable of generating a massive energy shield around the entire planet, the mood in the room began to shift from despair to cautious hope. "There's just one problem," Volkov concluded. "We haven't tested it at full power. The energy requirements are enormous, and there's a risk of destabilizing Earth's magnetic field if something goes wrong." Admiral Chen's expression hardened. "The alternative is alien invasion and possible extinction. Doctor, I think we can all agree the risk is worth it." As the UEDC mobilized Earth's defenses, life for most of the planet's inhabitants continued as normal. The decision had been made to keep the alien presence secret to prevent panic. But in labs and military bases around the world, men and women worked tirelessly to prepare for the coming storm. In orbit around Mars, Captain Zara Rodriguez of the UES Horizon watched as her crew ran battle drills for the 1000th time. The Horizon was Earth's most advanced warship, equipped with stellarium-powered weapons and shields. But even she knew it might not be enough against the alien armada. "Captain," her XO called out, "we're receiving a priority transmission from Admiral Chen." Zara's heart sank as she listened to the Admiral's message. The aliens had begun to move, their massive fleet advancing slowly but inexorably towards Earth. The Horizon, along with the rest of the Mars Defense Fleet, was being recalled to make a last stand in defense of humanity's homeworld. As the Horizon prepared to jump to Earth, Zara addressed her crew. "I won't lie to you," she said, her voice firm. "We're facing an enemy unlike any we've encountered before. But remember this. We are the guardians of Earth, the shield that protects billions of lives. Whatever happens, we will not go quietly into the night. We will rage against the dying of the light. For Earth." The crew's response was thunderous, a defiant roar that seemed to shake the very stars. Back on Earth, in a secret facility deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Patel worked feverishly alongside Dr. Volkov to bring Project Aegis online. The fate of humanity rested on their shoulders, and the weight of that responsibility was crushing. "Samira," Nikolai said softly, using her first name for the first time since they'd met, "if this doesn't work." She cut him off with a fierce look. "It will work. It has to." As they made the final adjustments to the Aegis system, alarms blared throughout the facility. On screens around the world, the same message flashed. "ALERT. Multiple unidentified objects DHT entering lunar orbit. Estimated time to Earth arrival. 2 hours." The invasion had begun. In the cold, dark expanse of space beyond the moon, the alien fleet decloaked. Thousands of ships, each a masterpiece of bioengineering, pulsed with an eerie organic light. At the center of the formation, a massive vessel that dwarfed even the largest human cities hung ominously. Aboard this colossal ship, the being known as the Overseer observed the blue planet before it. Millennia of evolution had shaped the Overseer species into the perfect conquerors, their bodies and minds melded seamlessly with their living ships. Pitiful, the Overseer's thoughts reverberated through the ship's neural network. To think the progenitors wasted their gifts on such a primitive species. The Overseer's second-in-command, the Executor, approached. Its thoughts merged with the Overseer's, sharing the results of their long-range scans. "The humans have rudimentary defenses and a handful of ships that barely qualify as a fleet. They pose no threat to our harvest." The Overseer's many eyes blinked in acknowledgement. "Perhaps, but complacency is the first step towards defeat, Executor. We will proceed as planned. Prepare the first wave of the harvest." As the alien armada advanced towards Earth, humanity's defenders scrambled to their positions. The Mars Defense Fleet, led by Captain Rodriguez's Horizon, took up formation around the planet. On the ground, military forces mobilized, and civilian populations were quietly moved to underground shelters under the guise of a global emergency drill. In the Rocky Mountain facility, Dr. Patel and Dr. Volkov worked frantically to bring Project Aegis online. The massive energy requirements had caused power fluctuations across the globe, and Earth's magnetic field was showing signs of instability. "We're out of time," Samira said, her fingers flying across the holographic interface. "We have to activate it now, ready or not." Nikolai nodded grimly. "May God have mercy on us all," he muttered as he initiated the startup sequence. Around the world, hidden stellarium reactors roared to life. In orbit, seemingly innocuous satellites began to pulse with energy. A shimmering curtain of light began to envelop the Earth, growing stronger with each passing second. The alien fleet, now within striking distance of Earth, paused. The Overseer, sensing the sudden surge of energy, felt something it hadn't experienced in eons: uncertainty. "What is this?" it demanded, its thoughts tinged with confusion and a hint of fear. Before the executor could respond, the shield snapped into place. A brilliant blue-white barrier now separated Earth from the alien armada. The overseer watched in disbelief as the first wave of its bioships slammed into the energy field, disintegrating on impact. On Earth, in military command centers and scientific labs, a cheer went up. Project Aegis had worked. They had a defense against the seemingly invincible alien force. But the victory was short-lived. The overseer, recovering quickly from its shock, began to analyze the shield. Interesting, it mused. Primitive, yet effective. But every shield has a weakness. As the alien fleet regrouped and began probing the Aegis shield for vulnerabilities, humanity prepared for the next phase of the battle. They had bought themselves time, but the war was far from over. In the depths of space, unnoticed by either side, a small, sleek ship watched the unfolding drama. Its occupant, neither human nor part of the invading force, observed with great interest. So, it thought, the game begins anew. Let us see if these humans are truly worthy of the progenitor's legacy. The silent watcher settled in to observe, knowing that the fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy, might hinge on the outcome of this conflict. As the first part of our story concludes, Earth stands protected, but for how long? The alien threat looms large, probing for weaknesses, while humanity races to find a way to not just defend, but to fight back. The stage is set for an epic struggle that will determine the future of our species and our place in the cosmos. Operation Thunderbolt. The shimmering blue dome of the Aegis shield had become a familiar sight in Earth's skies, a constant reminder of the alien threat that loomed just beyond its protective embrace. 2 weeks had passed since the initial encounter, and the world held its breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop. In the war room of the United Earth Defense Council, Admiral Chen Wei studied the holographic display of the alien fleet. The massive armada had spread out, encircling the Earth like a noose. Occasional probes tested the shield's strength, but so far, Aegis had held firm. "They're patient," General O'Connor remarked, her voice tinged with grudging respect, "waiting for us to make a mistake or for the shield to fail." Admiral Chen nodded grimly. "And we can't stay on the defensive forever." "Dr. Volkov, what's the status of Project Aegis?" Dr. Nikolai Volkov stepped forward, dark circles under his eyes betraying his exhaustion. "The good news is that the shield is stable. The bad news is that maintaining it is draining our stellurium reserves faster than we anticipated. At the current rate, we have maybe a month before we're forced to lower the shield." A heavy silence fell over the room. A month. They had a month to find a way to defeat an enemy that outgunned and outnumbered them. "What about offensive capabilities?" Captain Rodriguez asked, her hologram flickering slightly from her position aboard the horizon. "We can't just sit here and wait for them to break through." Dr. Samira Patel, who had been quietly observing until now, cleared her throat. "I think I might have a solution. But it's risky, and it will require us to lower the shield." All eyes turned to her as she explained her plan. Project Thunderbolt, she called it. A daring offensive that would turn the Aegis shield into a weapon. As the details of the plan were laid out, a mix of hope and trepidation filled the room. It was audacious, perhaps even reckless, but it was also their best chance at taking the fight to the enemy. Admiral Chen made his decision. "We have no choice. We'll need time to prepare. Dr. Patel, Dr. Volkov, you have 1 week to get Thunderbolt ready. Captain Rodriguez, assemble every ship we can spare. We're going to need them all." As the meeting adjourned, Samira felt the weight of responsibility settle heavily on her shoulders. She caught Nikolai's eye, and a silent understanding passed between them. They had one chance to get this right. In orbit, aboard the horizon, Captain Zara Rodriguez briefed her crew on the upcoming operation. "I won't sugarcoat it," she said, her voice carrying through the ship's intercom. "This mission is high risk, but if we succeed, we'll be striking the first real blow against the alien invaders." Remember your training, trust in each other, and no matter what happens, fight with everything you've got. For Earth. The crew's response was a thunderous cheer that seemed to shake the very hull of the ship. Meanwhile, in the depths of the alien mothership, the overseer contemplated the stubborn resistance of the humans. Its many eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of deep thought among its kind. They are more resourceful than we anticipated, it communicated to the executor. This shield, it defies our initial analysis. Perhaps we have underestimated these creatures. The executor's thoughts carried a tinge of concern. Shall we summon reinforcements from the home cluster? The overseer's body pulsed with colors, indicating negation. No, we will solve this puzzle ourselves. Increase the intensity of our probes. Find a weakness in their defenses. Every shield has a breaking point. As the alien fleet intensified its attacks on the Aegis shield, the people of Earth worked tirelessly to prepare for Operation Thunderbolt. In laboratories and factories around the world, scientists and engineers modified existing technologies and created new ones. Every scrap of stellarium was carefully rationed and repurposed. Dr. Patel and Dr. Volkov barely left their laboratory, subsisting on coffee and determination as they fine-tuned the Thunderbolt protocols. The plan was as brilliant as it was dangerous. They would use the Aegis satellites to create a massive electromagnetic pulse, supercharged by stellarium energy. In theory, it would disable the alien ship systems, giving the Earth fleet a chance to strike. The risk was enormous. Generating a pulse of that magnitude would not only drop the shield, but also potentially knock out Earth's own electronic systems. They would be exposed and vulnerable if the plan failed. As the day of the operation drew near, a tense anticipation gripped the planet. In cities around the world, people gathered in squares and parks, looking up at the shield that had protected them and wondering what lay ahead. In a small apartment in New Delhi, a young boy named Arjun pressed his hand against the window, feeling the faint hum of the Aegis shield. "Mom," he asked, "are we going to be okay?" His mother, a technician working on the Thunderbolt project, hugged him tightly. "We have to believe we will be, Beta. The best minds in the world are working to keep us safe." Similar scenes played out across the globe as humanity steeled itself for the battle to come. The day of Operation Thunderbolt dawned clear and bright. In the war room, Admiral Chen gave the final briefing to military leaders and key personnel around the world. "Today, we take the fight to the enemy," he said, his voice steady and resolute. "We've been on the defensive long enough. It's time to show these invaders that humanity will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive." As he spoke, the Earth fleet took up its positions. Every ship that could fly had been pressed into service, from the newest stellarium-powered cruisers to retrofitted civilian vessels. At the heart of the formation, the Horizon stood ready, its weapons primed and its crew prepared for whatever lay ahead. In the control center of Project Aegis, Dr. Patel and Dr. Volkov made their final checks. The modified satellites were in position, each one a ticking time bomb of electromagnetic energy waiting to be unleashed. "All systems are go," Samira reported, her voice tight with tension. "Awaiting your command, Admiral." Admiral Chen took a deep breath, feeling the weight of history on his shoulders. "Initiate Operation Thunderbolt." With those words, the greatest gamble in human history began. The Aegis shield flickered and died, leaving Earth exposed for the first time in 2 weeks. For a moment, an eerie calm settled over the battlefield. Then, all hell broke loose. The alien fleet, sensing the shield's collapse, surged forward, but they had fallen into humanity's trap. As they crossed the threshold where the shield had been, Dr. Patel activated the Thunderbolt pulse. A wave of blinding energy erupted from the Aegis satellites, washing over the alien armada. Ship after ship went dark, their biomechanical systems overloaded by the massive electromagnetic surge. "It worked," Dr. Volkov shouted, his normally calm demeanor cracking with excitement. "Their ships are disabled." But the victory was short-lived. As the pulse dissipated, it became clear that not all of the alien vessels had been affected. The mothership, protected by its immense size and advanced shielding, remained operational. All ships engage. Admiral Chen commanded, "Take out as many disabled vessels as you can before they recover." The Earth fleet sprang into action. Lasers and stellarium-powered missiles streaked across space, tearing into the vulnerable alien ships. On the Horizon's bridge, Captain Rodriguez barked orders as her gunners targeted the largest of the disabled vessels. "Keep firing," she yelled over the din of battle. "Don't give them a chance to regroup." For a glorious few minutes, it seemed as though humanity might snatch an improbable victory from the jaws of defeat. Dozens of alien ships exploded or drifted powerless in space, easy prey for the human fleet. But the tide of battle quickly turned. The alien mothership, recovering from the initial shock of the attack, began to emit a strange, pulsating energy. Disabled ships in its vicinity started to power up, their biomechanical systems regenerating at an astonishing rate. "Impossible," Dr. Patel whispered as she watched the sensor readings. "They're healing themselves." The overseer, its consciousness linked directly to the mothership, felt a surge of what could only be described as admiration. "Clever," it thought. "These humans are full of surprises. But now, it's our turn." With a thought, the overseer unleashed the full might of its recovered fleet. Bioships swarmed the human vessels, their weapons tearing through hulls with terrifying ease. The space around Earth became a graveyard of twisted metal and floating debris. On the horizon, Captain Rodriguez fought to keep her ship in one piece as it took hit after hit. "Evasive maneuvers," she shouted. "Get us out of here." But there was nowhere to run. The alien ships were faster, more agile, and seemingly impervious to sustained damage. One by one, Earth's defenders fell. In the war room, Admiral Chen watched in horror as the battle turned into a rout. "Get our people out of there," he ordered, his voice heavy with defeat. "Saving lives is more important than a hopeless last stand." As the remnants of the Earth fleet retreated, the alien armada pressed its advantage. The mothership moved into low orbit, its massive form blotting out the sun over much of the planet. The overseer's thoughts echoed through the neural network of its fleet. "Begin the harvest. Let these humans see the futility of their resistance." Around the world, smaller alien craft began to descend through the atmosphere. The ground phase of the invasion had begun. In the aftermath of the failed Operation Thunderbolt, Earth's leaders gathered once more in the UEDC war room. The mood was somber, the weight of their defeat hanging heavy in the air. "We underestimated them," General O'Connor said, breaking the silence. "Their ability to adapt, to heal. We never stood a chance." Admiral Chen nodded grimly. "Perhaps, but we're not beaten yet. As long as there's a single human left standing, this war isn't over." Dr. Patel, her face pale with exhaustion and worry, spoke up. "There's something else. During the battle, I detected some unusual energy readings from the mothership. It's not just a vessel. It's alive, somehow. And I think it's trying to communicate." A murmur ran through the room. The implications were staggering. If the aliens were trying to communicate, perhaps there was hope for a diplomatic solution. But before they could discuss further, alarms blared throughout the facility. On screens around the room, satellite imagery showed alien dropships landing in major cities across the globe. Admiral Chen's expression hardened. "It seems our visitors are done waiting. Whether they want to talk or not, we need to find a way to fight back. And fast." As the meeting adjourned, each person in the room knew that the real battle for Earth's survival was only just beginning. The aliens might have won the first round, but humanity was far from defeated. In labs and bunkers around the world, scientists and soldiers alike prepared for the next phase of the war. And somewhere in the vastness of space, the silent watcher observed the unfolding drama with growing interest. "Fascinating," it thought. "Perhaps these humans are worthy after all. The true test is yet to come." As Part 2 concludes, Earth faces its darkest hour. The alien invasion has begun in earnest, and humanity's first major counteroffensive has failed. But in the ashes of defeat, the seeds of hope remain. The war for Earth's future has only just begun, and the greatest challenges, and perhaps the greatest triumphs, lie ahead. The quantum gambit. The world had changed overnight. Alien dropships descended from the skies, their biomechanical forms like grotesque insects alighting on the face of the Earth. Major cities around the globe became battlegrounds as humanity fought desperately against the invaders. In the ruins of what was once downtown Los Angeles, Private First Class Maya Chen crouched behind the twisted wreckage of a car, her pulse rifle clutched tightly to her chest. The air was thick with dust and the acrid smell of burning synthetics. In the distance, she could hear the ominous hum of alien craft and the sporadic chatter of human weapons fire. Rodriguez Citrip, she whispered into her comm unit. "Not good, Chen," came the reply from her squad leader. "Those walking tanks they dropped are tearing through our barricades like they're made of paper. We need to fall back to the secondary line." Maya gritted her teeth. They'd been falling back for days now, losing ground inch by bloody inch. But what choice did they have? The aliens' technology was beyond anything they'd ever faced. As she prepared to make a run for it, a shadow fell over her position. Maya looked up and felt her blood run cold. Towering above her was one of the alien foot soldiers, its body a nightmarish fusion of organic and mechanical parts. Multiple eyes swiveled to focus on her, and she knew in that moment that her time had run out. But before the alien could strike, a blinding flash of light erupted between them. Maya shielded her eyes, and when she looked again, the alien lay in pieces on the ground. Standing over it was a figure in gleaming armor, holding what looked like a sword made of pure energy. "On your feet, soldier," a woman's voice came from the armor. "This fight's not over yet." Maya scrambled to her feet, staring in awe at her rescuer. "Who? What are you?" The armored figure turned to her, the faceplate sliding back to reveal a middle-aged woman with steel-gray hair and eyes that burned with determination. "Colonel Akira Tanaka, Special Projects Division. And this," she said, gesturing to her armor and weapon, "is humanity's newest hope." Across the globe, similar scenes were playing out. Small teams of soldiers in advanced armor appeared seemingly out of nowhere, turning the tide of battles that had seemed lost. Their weapons and technology were unlike anything seen before, capable of going toe-to-toe with the alien invaders. In the UEDC war room, now relocated to a hardened bunker deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Chen watched the reports flood in with a mixture of hope and confusion. "Where did these forces come from?" he demanded. "And why are we only deploying them now?" Dr. Samira Patel stepped forward, her face a mask of exhaustion, but her eyes bright with excitement. "They're from Project Prometheus, Admiral, a top-secret initiative that's been in development for years, accelerated when we first detected the alien fleet." She brought up a holographic display showing schematics of the armor and weapons. "It's based on a breakthrough in quantum mechanics. We've managed to create localized fields where the laws of physics bend. It allows for seemingly impossible feats, energy weapons, enhanced strength and speed, even limited teleportation." General O'Connor whistled low. "It's a game changer. But will it be enough?" Before anyone could answer, a new alert flashed across the main screen. Dr. Nikolai Volkov, who had been monitoring global communications, paled visibly. "Admiral," he said, his voice shaking slightly, "we're picking up a transmission. It's from the alien mothership. They want to talk." A hush fell over the room. After weeks of relentless assault, the aliens were reaching out. But why? Admiral Chen's eyes narrowed. "Put it through." The main screen flickered, and an image appeared that made everyone in the room recoil instinctively. The Overseer's form was a writhing mass of tentacles and cybernetic implants, its multiple eyes swiveling independently to take in the humans before it. When it spoke, the voice seemed to bypass their ears and resonate directly in their minds. Humans, it said, the word dripping with disdain. Your resistance is admirable but futile. We offer you a choice. Surrender now, and a portion of your species will be allowed to live as our servants. Continue to fight, and we will cleanse your world of all life. You have one planetary rotation to decide. The transmission cut off abruptly, leaving the war room in stunned silence. General O'Connor was the first to speak. Well, that's torn it. They're not here to make friends, that's for damn sure. Admiral Chen nodded grimly. Indeed. But this transmission gives us an opportunity. Dr. Patel, Dr. Volkov, is there any way we can use this to our advantage? Samira and Nikolai exchanged a look, years of collaborative work allowing them to communicate volumes in a single glance. Maybe, Samira said slowly. If we could analyze the transmission, find a way to trace it back to its source, we might be able to locate a weakness in the mothership's defenses. Nikolai finished. Admiral Chen leaned forward, a spark of hope igniting in his eyes. Do it. In the meantime, we'll continue to deploy our Prometheus units to hold the line on the ground. We need to buy time. As the meeting adjourned, each person left with a renewed sense of purpose. They had a plan, however tenuous, and for the first time since the invasion began, they had hope. In Los Angeles, Maya Chen found herself fighting alongside Colonel Tanaka and her Prometheus team. The advanced weaponry and armor were turning the tide, pushing the aliens back block by bloody block. How does this stuff work? Maya asked as she watched Tanaka phase through a solid wall to flank an alien position. Tanaka grinned, the expression fierce behind her faceplate. Honestly, I only understand about half of it myself. Something about quantum fields and probability manipulation. All I know is that it works, and it's giving us a fighting chance. As they fought, Maya couldn't help but feel a surge of pride. Humanity might be outgunned and outnumbered, but they weren't going down without a fight. Meanwhile, in orbit, the alien mothership hung like a malevolent cloud over the Earth. Inside its cavernous central chamber, the Overseer communed with the ship's living systems. Its consciousness expanded to encompass the entire fleet. The humans continued to resist. It communicated to the Executor. Their new weapons are concerning. Perhaps we underestimated their capacity for adaptation. The Executor's thoughts carried a note of caution. Should we not call for reinforcements? The home cluster would send aid. The Overseer's body pulsed with colors indicating negation and irritation. No, this is our harvest. We will not share the glory or the spoils. Increase the intensity of our attacks. Overwhelm them with sheer numbers. Every species has a breaking point. We will find theirs. As the Overseer issued its commands, it remained unaware that its transmission to Earth had opened a small but crucial backdoor. In their secret lab, Dr. Patel and Dr. Volkov worked feverishly to exploit this vulnerability. Look at this, Samira said, pointing to a complex series of equations scrolling across her screen. The alien communication doesn't just carry audio and visual information. It's like their entire language is based on mathematical principles. Nikolai leaned in, his eyes widening as he grasped the implications. If we can decipher it, we might be able to understand their technology, maybe even interfere with it. Their excitement was short-lived, however, as a new alert flashed across their screens. The alien fleet was on the move, descending from orbit in greater numbers than ever before. All across the planet, the intensity of the invasion ramped up. Alien dropships darkened the skies, disgorging wave after wave of biomechanical horrors. The Prometheus units fought valiantly, their advanced technology allowing them to hold their own against impossible odds. But they were vastly outnumbered, and for every alien they felled, 10 more took its place. In New York, the Statue of Liberty fell, toppled by a massive alien walker. In Beijing, the Forbidden City became a battleground, its ancient stones scorched by energy weapons. The pyramids of Giza, standing for millennia, crumbled under the onslaught of alien bombardment. Humanity fought back with everything it had. Conventional military supported the Prometheus units, buying time with their lives. Civilian militias formed in occupied territories, waging a guerrilla war against the invaders. Every scrap of technology, every ounce of human ingenuity and courage was thrown into the fight. But it wasn't enough. City by city, country by country, Earth's defenses were overwhelmed. The alien tide seemed unstoppable. In the UEDC bunker, Admiral Chen watched with growing despair as the holographic display of Earth was slowly consumed by red, indicating alien-controlled territory. "We need more time," Dr. Patel pleaded. "We're close to a breakthrough. If we can just hold out a little longer." Admiral Chen's face was grim. "We're out of time, Doctor. We need a miracle." As if in answer to his words, a new alert pinged on the main screen. Dr. Volkov, who had been monitoring deep space communications, suddenly sat up straight, his eyes wide with disbelief. "Admiral," he said, his voice trembling with excitement, "we're picking up a transmission. It's not from the aliens. It's coming from beyond our solar system." The room fell silent as Nikolai put the transmission on the main speakers. A voice, unmistakably human but somehow different, filled the air. "People of Earth, hold fast. You are not alone. The Vanguard is coming." As the message repeated, Admiral Chen turned to his stunned staff. "It seems," he said, a note of wonder in his voice, "that the universe has more surprises in store for us." High above the Earth, beyond the range of both human and alien sensors, a sleek ship of unknown design dropped out of faster-than-light travel. Its captain, a being that appeared human but was something more, gazed down at the embattled planet. "So," Captain Aria Revan mused, her voice carrying the weight of centuries, "the children of Earth faced their trial by fire. Let's see if they're ready to join the galactic community." With a thought, she sent a command through the ship's neural interface. Across the vast distances of space, more ships began to appear, the long-hidden fleet of the Vanguard, protectors of fledgling species and guardians of the progenitor's legacy. "All ships, prepare for combat," Aria commanded. "It's time to remind the harvesters why they fear the name of humanity." As the Vanguard fleet moved into position, unseen by both the embattled humans and the overconfident aliens, the next phase of the war for Earth was about to begin. Humanity had endured, against all odds, and now they would learn that they were part of a much larger, more complex universe than they had ever imagined. The battle for Earth was more than just a fight for one planet. It was a pivotal moment in galactic history, the awakening of a species with the potential to change the very fabric of the cosmos. And as the Vanguard prepared to reveal themselves, the true nature of humanity's role in the universe was about to be unveiled. As Part 3 concludes, Earth stands on the brink of defeat, its cities in ruins, its people fighting a desperate last stand against an overwhelming alien force. But in its darkest hour, a glimmer of hope appears from the stars. The arrival of the mysterious Vanguard promises to change the course of the war and reveal secrets about humanity's place in the universe that will shake the foundations of everything they thought they knew. The stage is set for a climactic battle that will determine not just the fate of Earth, but potentially the future of the entire galaxy. Echoes of deception. The arrival of the Vanguard fleet changed everything. As their ships decloaked in Earth's orbit, both humans and aliens alike watched in awe and confusion. The Vanguard vessels were unlike anything either side had seen before, sleek, almost organic in design, yet radiating power beyond comprehension. In the UEDC bunker, Admiral Chen and his team stared at the holographic display in disbelief. The new arrivals had positioned themselves between Earth and the alien mothership, forming a protective barrier around the planet. "Are they helping us?" General O'Connor asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Before anyone could respond, a new transmission cut through all communication channels. The voice was the same one they had heard earlier, but now it was accompanied by a visual. On screens around the world, the image of Captain Aria Revan appeared. She looked human, but there was an otherworldly quality to her. Eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of ages, skin with a subtle shimmer that wasn't quite natural. "People of Earth," she began, her voice resonating with authority. "I am Captain Aria Revan of the Vanguard. We have watched your struggle against the Harvesters, and we have judged you worthy of intervention. Stand fast, for you are no longer alone in this fight." As billions watched in stunned silence, the Vanguard fleet engaged the alien armada. Their weapons were beyond anything Earth had ever seen. Beams of pure energy that seemed to bend space itself, missiles that phased in and out of reality to bypass shields. The alien ships, so recently invincible, were being torn apart. On the ground, the tide of battle shifted dramatically. Vanguard dropships descended into key conflict zones, disgorging troops in advanced battle suits that made even the Prometheus armor look primitive by comparison. In the ruins of Los Angeles, Maya Chen and Colonel Tanaka found themselves fighting alongside these new allies. A Vanguard soldier, his armor gleaming with an inner light, approached them. "Greetings, warriors of Earth," he said, his voice carrying a hint of an accent Maya couldn't place. "I am Zar-El. We fight together now." Tanaka, ever the pragmatist, quickly adjusted to the new reality. "Glad to have you. We're trying to push them back from the city center. Any ideas?" Zar-El nodded, a holographic display springing to life from his gauntlet. "Their command structure is hierarchical. Take out the local nexus points, and the ground forces will be in disarray." As they formulated a plan, Maya couldn't help but ask the question burning in her mind. "Why now? Why didn't you come sooner?" Zar-El's expression was unreadable behind his faceplate, but his voice carried a note of regret. "There are rules, protocols that must be followed. But know this, your people's courage in the face of overwhelming odds is what earned our intervention. You have proven yourselves worthy." Meanwhile, aboard the alien mothership, the Overseer was in a state of panic. Its many eyes darted frantically between displays showing the systematic destruction of its fleet. "Impossible," it chittered, its thoughts a chaotic swirl of disbelief and fear. "The Vanguard cannot be here. This sector was deemed safe." The Executor, struggling to maintain composure, attempted to formulate a response. "We should retreat, Overseer. Regroup with the home cluster. We cannot stand against." "No," the Overseer's thoughts lashed out, causing the Executor to recoil. "We cannot fail. The harvest must continue. Divert all power to the primary weapon. We will cleanse this entire system if we must." As the alien mothership began to pulse with ominous energy, the true scale of the threat became apparent. Back in the UEDC bunker, Dr. Patel and Dr. Volkov were working furiously to decipher the alien communications they had intercepted. With the immediate threat lessened by the Vanguard's intervention, they could focus on unraveling the mysteries of the alien language. "Look at this," Samira said, pointing to a complex series of equations. "It's not just a language. It's a code. A key to manipulating quantum fields on a massive scale." Nicolay's eyes widened as he grasped the implications. "If we can crack this, we might be able to interfere with their systems directly. Maybe even shut down that weapon they're charging." As they worked, Admiral Chen received a priority communication from Captain Revan. Her face appeared on the main screen, her expression grave. "Admiral, we've detected a massive energy buildup in the alien mothership. If our calculations are correct, they're preparing to unleash a weapon capable of destroying not just Earth, but a significant portion of your solar system." Chen's face paled. "Can you stop it?" Revan shook her head. "Not from the outside. Their defenses are too strong. We need to strike at the heart of their ship, but our forces are spread thin containing their fleet. We need your help." A plan quickly formed. The Vanguard would create a breach in the mothership's defenses, allowing a small team to infiltrate and disable the weapon from within. But the team would need to include humans. Their unique quantum technology, combined with their intimate knowledge of the enemy, made them essential to the mission's success. Colonel Tanaka, with her Prometheus armor and combat experience, was the obvious choice to lead the human contingent. To everyone's surprise, Dr. Patel volunteered to join the team. "I spent weeks studying their language and technology," she argued. "You'll need me to interface with their systems." Despite protests from Dr. Volkov and others, the decision was made. The fate of Earth, perhaps the entire solar system, would rest on this small, joint human vanguard team. As preparations for the mission began, a startling discovery was made. The Silent Watcher, the being that had observed the conflict from the shadows, revealed itself. It was a progenitor, one of the ancient race that had seeded the galaxy with life eons ago. The progenitor's ship decloaked near the Vanguard fleet, causing a flurry of activity. Captain Revan herself seemed taken aback by this development. "This is unprecedented," she murmured. "The progenitors haven't directly intervened in galactic affairs for millions of years." The progenitor, a being of energy and light barely contained within a humanoid form, communicated directly into the minds of key individuals on both sides of the conflict. "The time has come," its thoughts resonated, carrying the weight of eons. "The trial is complete. Humanity has proven its worth, not just in courage, but in compassion and ingenuity. But the true test is yet to come." As the progenitor's message sank in, a shocking realization dawned on Dr. Patel. She turned to Admiral Chen, her eyes wide with understanding. "Admiral," she said, her voice trembling, "I don't think this invasion is what we thought it was. The Harvesters, the Vanguard, even the progenitors, it's all part of something bigger. A test, a trial for our entire species." Chen's brow furrowed. "What are you saying, Doctor?" "I'm saying," Samara replied, "that everything we've experienced, the invasion, our technological leaps, even the arrival of the Vanguard, it might all be an elaborate simulation, a constructed reality to test humanity's response to a cosmic threat." The implications were staggering. If true, it meant that the fate of humanity rested not just on their ability to fight off an invasion, but on their choices, their morality, their very nature as a species. As the infiltration team prepared for their mission, this new understanding added an extra layer of complexity to their task. It wasn't just about stopping a weapon. It was about proving humanity's worth on a cosmic scale. Colonel Tanaka, Dr. Patel, and their Vanguard allies boarded a stealth shuttle, ready to embark on their desperate mission. As they approached the alien mothership, Tanaka turned to her team. "Remember," she said, her voice steady despite the weight of their task, "whatever happens in there, whatever we face, we're not just fighting for Earth. We're fighting for the very idea of humanity. Let's show the universe what we're made of." With that, the shuttle slipped through the breach in the mothership's defenses, carrying with it the hopes of not just Earth, but potentially all of human destiny. Inside the mothership, the team found themselves in an environment that defied conventional physics. Corridors shifted and reformed, gravity fluctuated wildly, and the very air seemed alive with malevolent intent. "Stay focused," Zar-El warned, as they navigated the ever-changing labyrinth. "The ship is alive, in a sense. It will try to confuse and separate us." Dr. Patel, her mind racing to process the alien mathematics surrounding them, began to see patterns in the chaos. "This way," she said, pointing down a corridor that seemed to pulse with energy. "The weapons core should be in this direction." As they progressed deeper into the ship, they encountered scattered resistance, alien defenders that seemed more confused than hostile. It was as if the ship itself was diverting most of its energy to the weapon, leaving its internal defenses weakened. Finally, they reached a massive chamber at the heart of the ship. In its center floated a swirling vortex of energy, so bright it hurt to look at directly. Surrounding it were various control interfaces, their surfaces crawling with alien script that shifted and changed continuously. That's it, Dr. Patel breathed, her eyes wide with a mixture of awe and fear. The quantum core, it's beautiful. Colonel Tanaka was all business. Can you shut it down? Samira nodded, already moving towards one of the interfaces. I think so, but I'll need time. And it won't be easy. The system will fight back. As Dr. Patel began her work, interfacing with the alien technology using a combination of her knowledge and the Vanguard's advanced tech, the rest of the team formed a defensive perimeter. They didn't have to wait long for a response. The Overseer's voice boomed through the chamber, its thoughts invading their minds with crushing force. Foolish creatures, you understand nothing of what you face. The harvest is eternal, necessary. Your resistance dooms not just yourselves, but countless worlds. As the voice faded, the chamber came alive with defenses. Swarms of nanobots coalesced into deadly forms. Energy beams lashed out from hidden emitters, and the very floor beneath their feet began to undulate and shift. Colonel Tanaka and the Vanguard soldiers fought with everything they had, their advanced weapons and armor pushed to the limit. But for every threat they neutralized, two more seemed to appear. How much longer? Tanaka shouted over the din of battle, her armor scorched and dented. Almost there, Dr. Patel called back, her fingers flying over the alien interface. The system is adapting, but so am I. Just a little more time. As the battle reached its crescendo, with the team barely holding on against the onslaught of the ship's defenses, a blinding light filled the chamber. The progenitor materialized in their midst, its form a beacon of pure energy. Enough, its thoughts resonated, freezing everything in place. The trial is complete. Judgment will now be rendered. In that moment of suspended animation, as humans, Vanguard, and the alien ship itself hung in the balance, the true nature of their cosmic test was about to be revealed. The fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy, rested on the decisions made in the next few moments. As Part 4 concludes, our heroes stand at the precipice of a revelation that will shake the foundations of their understanding of the universe. The lines between reality and simulation, between friend and foe, have blurred. As the progenitor prepares to render its judgment, the question remains, has humanity proven itself worthy of joining the galactic community, or will they be found wanting? The final act of this cosmic drama is about to unfold, with consequences that will echo across the stars for eons to come. Ascension. The progenitor's presence filled the chamber, its radiant form casting everything else into sharp relief. Time seemed to stand still as the being's consciousness touched the minds of everyone present. Human, Vanguard, and even the alien Overseer. The trial is complete. The progenitor's thoughts resonated, carrying the weight of eons. You have all played your parts, knowingly or not, in a test as old as the stars themselves. With a gesture, the progenitor created a shimmering holographic display that filled the chamber. It showed Earth, but not as they knew it. The planet was whole, untouched by the devastation of war. Beside it, images of the alien fleet and the Vanguard ships flickered and faded like mirages. What you have experienced, the progenitor continued, was a simulation of unprecedented scale. A test of character, of resilience, of the very essence of what it means to be sentient. The revelation hit each of them differently. Colonel Tanaka's hand tightened on her weapon, her soldier's instincts warring with the reality before her. Dr. Patel's eyes widened in understanding, her brilliant mind already racing to comprehend the implications. The Vanguard soldiers stood impassive, as if this turn of events was not entirely unexpected. And the Overseer, its many eyes darting frantically, seemed to shrink in on itself, its fearsome presence diminished in the light of truth. But why? Dr. Patel found her voice, stepping forward. Why put us through this? The devastation, the loss. The progenitor's form shifted, taking on a more humanoid appearance to better communicate with them. To prepare you, child of Earth. Your species stands on the brink of a great leap. Your mastery of quantum mechanics, your development of the Prometheus technology. These are the first steps towards becoming a true cosmic civilization. But with great power comes great responsibility. Images flashed through the holographic display. Worlds in ruins, entire solar systems reduced to ash, the aftermath of wars waged with technologies beyond human comprehension. The galaxy is vast and full of wonders. The progenitor continued, but also dangers beyond your imagining. We needed to know if humanity had the wisdom to wield cosmic power responsibly, if you had the strength to face annihilation and still retain your compassion, your drive to protect not just yourselves, but others. Colonel Tanaka stepped forward, her voice tight with controlled anger. So all of this, the deaths, the destruction, it was all fake. Just some cosmic test. The progenitor turned its gaze to her, its eyes filled with a mixture of sadness and understanding. The experience was real, Colonel. The emotions, the choices, the growth, all of it was genuine. Only the physical consequences were simulated. Your people will awaken on Earth with memories of a war that never physically happened, but the lessons learned, the bonds forged, those are very real. As the implications sank in, the overseer finally spoke, its thoughts a chaotic swirl of confusion and fear. And what of us? Were we merely puppets in your grand design? The progenitor's attention shifted to the alien entity. You, overseer, and your kind, were once like humanity. A young species full of potential. But you chose a path of conquest and consumption. This simulation was as much a chance for your redemption as it was a test for humanity. Your choices here will determine the fate of your entire species. With another gesture, the progenitor expanded the holographic display, showing the vast expanse of the galaxy. Countless worlds teemed with life, some familiar, others utterly alien. Humanity stands at a crossroads, the progenitor announced. You have proven yourselves worthy of joining the galactic community, but the choice of how to proceed is yours. 3 distinct paths appeared in the display. The first showed Earth isolated, protected by a powerful shield, advancing its technology in solitude. You may choose isolation, the progenitor explained, to develop at your own pace, safe from external threats, but also cut off from the wonders and knowledge of the cosmos. The second path displayed humans spreading across the stars, ships bearing the United Earth insignia making contact with alien civilizations. You may choose to join the galactic community as you are, to learn and grow alongside other species, facing the challenges and reaping the rewards of cosmic citizenship. The third option was more abstract. It showed humans evolving, their forms becoming luminous, merging with advanced technology, until they were something more. Or you may choose ascension, the progenitor said, to follow in our footsteps, to become beings of energy and thought, to help guide the younger races as we have done. The chamber fell silent as the weight of the choice settled upon them. Dr. Patel, her scientific curiosity warring with caution, asked, How? How do we decide? This isn't a choice that can be made by just us. The progenitor nodded in acknowledgement. You are wise to recognize this. The choice will be presented to your entire species. Every human on Earth will receive a vision, much like this one, explaining the situation and the options before them. The collective will of humanity will determine your path. As the progenitor spoke, back on Earth, billions of humans suddenly found their consciousness expanded, receiving the cosmic vision. In homes, workplaces, and public spaces, people stopped in their tracks, their minds filled with the grandeur of the galaxy and the weight of the choice before them. In the White House, President Amelia Flores stood motionless, her eyes wide as she absorbed the vision. In a small village in rural India, a farmer named Rajesh Kumar looked to the sky with new understanding. In a research station in Antarctica, Dr. Yuki Tanaka felt her lifelong questions about the universe suddenly answered, only to be replaced by even greater ones. The vision lasted only moments, but its impact would forever change the course of human history. Back in the simulated mothership, Colonel Tanaka found her voice. And the vanguard. What's their role in all this? Captain Aria Revan stepped forward, her form shimmering as the simulation began to fade around them. We are the guardians, the shepherds of young races. Some of us were once like you, uplifted by the progenitors. Others are the descendants of ancient civilizations who chose to dedicate themselves to guiding the next generation of cosmic citizens. Dr. Patel, her mind racing with the implications, turned to the progenitor. You said this was a test for the overseer's species as well. What becomes of them? The progenitor's form shifted, its gaze turning to the alien entity. Their fate, too, will be determined by choice. They have seen the consequences of their path of conquest. Now they must decide if they will change course, or continue down a road that leads only to destruction. The overseer, its once domineering presence now diminished, seemed to consider this. Its many eyes blinked in sequence, a sign of deep contemplation. Finally, it spoke, its thoughts tinged with a new emotion, humility. I have much to reconsider, it said. Perhaps there is another way, one that does not require the subjugation of others to ensure our survival. As the simulation continued to dissolve around them, the progenitor addressed them one last time. You will all return to your realities now, with the knowledge and experiences gained here. The choice that humanity makes will shape not only your future, but will have ripple effects across the galaxy. Choose wisely, for the cosmos awaits. With a flash of light, the simulation ended. Colonel Tanaka found herself back in her apartment in Washington, D.C., the memories of the war still vivid, but now contextualized by the greater truth. Dr. Patil awoke in her lab, her mind buzzing with the advanced mathematics she had learned. All across the Earth, humans came back to themselves, forever changed by the experience. In the days that followed, the world was in a state of controlled chaos. The sudden, shared vision had united humanity in a way never before seen. Old conflicts and divisions seemed petty in the face of the cosmic choice before them. Governments convened emergency sessions, religious leaders sought to reconcile their faiths with the new reality, and ordinary citizens debated the three paths in homes and town squares. Dr. Patel found herself at the center of a global scientific effort to understand the implications of each choice. The isolation option promised safety, but at the cost of limiting human potential. Joining the galactic community offered incredible opportunities for growth and discovery, but also exposed Earth to unknown risks. And ascension, the possibility of becoming like the progenitors, was tantalizing, but many feared losing their humanity in the process. Colonel Tanaka, her military experience providing a unique perspective, worked with global leaders to assess the strategic implications of each path. She couldn't help but feel that humanity's warlike tendencies might make them poor galactic citizens, yet the thought of isolation chafed against her adventurous spirit. As the debate raged, a surprising voice entered the global conversation. Using the advanced communication techniques learned during the simulation, Dr. Patel managed to establish contact with the overseer. The alien entity, chastened by its experience, offered insights into the wider galaxy and the consequences of choices made by other species. We chose conquest, the overseer explained, its thoughts now tinged with regret, believing it the only path to survival. We were wrong. Do not make our mistake. There is strength in diversity, in cooperation. This testimony, coming from a being that had been perceived as an implacable enemy, swayed many minds. Finally, after weeks of global discussion and debate, it was time to decide. In a process overseen by the Vanguard, every human on Earth was given the opportunity to vote on humanity's cosmic future. The results, when they came, were clear. Humanity had chosen to join the galactic community. As the decision was announced, a sense of excitement and trepidation swept across the globe. Humanity was stepping onto a much larger stage, one filled with wonders and dangers beyond their imagining. In the aftermath of the decision, changes came swiftly. The Vanguard established an embassy on Earth, facilitating humanity's integration into galactic society. Dr. Patel found herself leading a team of scientists working to adapt alien technologies for human use, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. Colonel Tanaka, her skills honed by the simulated war, was chosen to command Earth's first true interstellar vessel. As she stood on the bridge of the UES Odyssey, preparing for its maiden voyage, she felt a sense of pride and purpose she had never known before. And far above the Earth, visible to all as a twinkling star in the night sky, the progenitor watched. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe. They would face challenges, make mistakes, and achieve greatness beyond their wildest dreams. The cosmic dance continued, with a new partner ready to take the floor. As the Odyssey prepared to make its first faster-than-light jump, Colonel Tanaka gave the order that would echo through human history: "Take us to the stars." With a flash of light, the ship disappeared into the cosmic ocean, carrying with it the hopes and dreams of an entire species. Humanity's greatest adventure had begun. As our story concludes, we leave Earth on the brink of a new era. The challenges faced in the simulation have prepared humanity for the real tests that lie ahead in the vast, unknown reaches of the galaxy. The bonds forged, the lessons learned, and the growth achieved will serve as the foundation for humanity's cosmic future. As they take their place among the stars, the human spirit of curiosity, resilience, and compassion will be their guide in the grand cosmic dance of civilizations.